Marine turtle fibropapillomastosis, or SP, is a debilitating infectious neoplastic disease characterized by cutaneous, conjunctival, and visceral tumors. SP has been reported in all hard-shelled sea turtle species, but it has emerged as an epizootic in green sea turtles in several locations. In captive sea turtle management situations such as rehabilitation, Head Start centers, and captive rearing, SP represents an important health concern. Our research goal was to describe the epidemiology and identify factors of survivorship of SP cases in a rehabilitation setting. To accomplish this, we evaluated the occurrence, clinical progression, and outcomes of sea turtles with SP at the Georgia Sea Turtle Center, or GSTC. This research addresses the clear need for an objective study of rehabilitating SP turtles. Here we broadly consider clinical and biological data and investigate prognostic indicators for successful rehabilitation outcomes. We reviewed medical records of wild-caught sea turtles undergoing rehabilitation at the Georgia Sea Turtle Center during 2009 through 2012. 18 patients met the inclusion criteria, which were admission as a sea turtle patient to the Georgia Sea Turtle Center, signs of external SP, and case data follow-through until the time of release or necropsy. As a control group for statistical analyses, we also evaluated case data from an equivalent set of 18 non-SP rehabilitating sea turtles matched by species. And here I have listed the case data that we evaluated. We also developed and evaluated a tumor scoring system similar to previously utilized scoring systems. SP tumor scores 0 through 3 were assigned to all patients according to the size, number, and location of tumors, and were designed to reflect the spectrum of SP extent and severity. From non-afflicted, which is 0, to lightly, moderately, and heavily afflicted. For patient enrollment, which is a part of the patient's life history dealing with demographics, we found that SP was present in about 5% of the Georgia Sea Turtle Center patients during the study period. The majority of SP turtles were juvenile, female, green sea turtles. Although we hypothesized that there could be a seasonal difference in the number of strandings, we found no significant difference in the proportion of strandings in SP cases by season or by month. Turtles were grouped according to their size class using published size class partitioning criteria. And when we compared SP to non-SP turtles, we found no significant difference in the emission weight or their straight carapace length. We also found that the highest SP prevalence was in the 25 to 29.9 and 40 to 44.9 centimeter size classes. We evaluated case presentations, or how the turtles were originally found, using odds ratios and Fisher's exact test. No presenting complaints were more likely of the SP versus the non-SP turtles, but when we looked at presentation, we did observe that turtles found floating in presentation had greater odds of being released than being euthanized after they were rehabilitated. We also evaluated sources of comorbidity, since most of the turtles had problems other than or in addition to SP. And here we also used odds ratios and Fisher's exact test. We discovered that as a source of comorbidity, floating was significantly more likely in SP versus non-SP patients, and also floating and emaciation had greater odds of the turtles being released after they were rehabilitated. We categorized tumors according to locations on the turtle's bodies, and you can see here that the inguinal region and the front flippers were the most common locations of the tumors. We also found, when we looked at tumor location and case outcomes, we observed that for all 6 turtles in the study that were euthanized, SP was located on the skin, shell, eyes, and/or internally. Whereas in 7 of the 11 SP turtles that were released, SP was present only on the skin or shell. We also looked at clinical pathology parameters of the SP turtles. We used the blood parameter values consisting of complete blood counts and plasma biochemistry that we obtained on the day that the turtles were rehabilitated or were admitted into rehab, and also the values obtained at the time of the subjective peak SP severity. There are several ways to interpret and present this data, but here I've listed for you the mean clinical pathology parameters that were outside of published reference ranges according to the tumor score. And I'd love to go into more detail on this information, but because of time, I'm going to kind of move past this part. And if you have more questions or would like more information, you can come and talk to me afterwards. Laser-mediated tumor removal is the treatment of choice for cutaneous FP. And in this study, 61.1% of the FP turtles had one or more laser surgeries to remove the tumor. Also, ocular laser surgery was performed in 22.2% of the FP turtles. One question we have is whether repeated surgeries were associated with a favorable or unfavorable case outcome. According to this figure, we can see that turtles released with mild FP had more than double the number of surgeries of the FP turtles that were euthanized, suggesting a favorable outcome for FP patients with one or more tumor removal surgeries. Finally, we evaluated case outcome and total time in rehabilitation measured in weeks. You can see that of the FP cases, we found 61.1% were released, 5.6% or one turtle is still captive. The turtle had a head injury and seemed unreleasable and now lives permanently in a public aquarium. 2.2% were euthanized and 11.1% died. And you can compare this to the outcomes of the non-FP cases, of which 94.4% were released and only one turtle was euthanized. By this, we can conclude that FP turtles had significantly greater odds of being euthanized than non-FP turtles. Also, among turtles that were released, you can see in the bottom right-hand corner, the average total number of days in rehabilitation differs significantly between FP and non-FP turtles. In conclusion, with this study, we have identified some negative prognostic indicators for rehabilitating turtles with FP, such as internal and/or ocular tumors, a tumor score of 3, and anemia, and also some positive prognostic indicators such as floating and emaciation, FP on the skin or shell only, a tumor score of 1 or 2, and 1 or more tumor removal surgeries. The retrospective aspect of the study means that our results are, at best, observational and hypothesis generating. This is still a work in progress, and our future research will include larger sample sizes, a prospective aspect, and comparisons between different sea turtle rehab facilities. And with that, I just want to say thank you so much to my co-authors and mentors, my advisor, Dr. Nicole Godbaker at the University of Georgia, and also Terry Norton and the Georgia Sea Turtle Center staff for all their help. And thanks to my department for sending me here, and thank you guys for having me here this morning.
Thank you, Annie, for that excellent talk. Does anyone have a question for our Chief candidate, Annie? Okay, no one else has a question. I have a question. Did it strike you as unusual or odd that one of the positive indicators was emaciation in your study?
Yes, it is. I guess you could say that you would think of emaciation and the floating as sort of a negative indicator, but actually in all of these turtle patients, they all had some sort of comorbidity, and we just found that those were more likely to be related to a positive outcome. Thank you very much.